So, London or the UK in general had a normal one, and a whole heap of fascies came out onto the streets, uh, led by Tommy Robinson, who, fuck, like old bloody, like people, the OGs will remember that guy. Um, he's a full-on like Islamophobic. Yeah, but here we go. Tommy Robinson, anti-Islam. He basically started the whole idea of um, Muslim rape gangs and that whole shit. But this was, from the looks of it, quite literally because of Charlie Kirk. So we got again another situation where uh, I think this was just about Charlie Kirk, and they're not in America. So, oh yeah, well they also don't like Keir Starmer. Have you seen the Tommy Robinson sneakers? I've sent you them on Instagram. Let me have a look. Oh, Tommy Robinson. Let me bring this into here. Oh, Tommy finally arrived. Yippee. I'm not a shoe guy, but this looks disgusting. Like it just looks shit. Also, his real name is Stefan Christopher. Really? Huh. So Tommy Robinson is just like I don't know. And literally everyone yeah, I know, right? Yeah, yeah, I like how it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Keir Starmer even hates Keir Starmer. He definitely acts fucking like it. Cause yeah, uh, uh, I'm pretty sure Keir Starmer only ever gets into it, only ever really became prime minister because like everyone was like, well, we don't want the other people. We don't want well, they don't have liberals. They have the Tories or whatever, the Conservatives. Oh yeah, well, yeah, there you go. It even says it right there. Robinson's, whose real name is Stefan bloody bloody blah, describes himself as a journalist exposing state wrongdoing and counts U.S. billionaire Elon Musk among his supporters. Oh yes, Elon Musk was there. He presented himself via screen in a video linked to the rally. Mr. Musk called for a change of government in Britain. At least 25 arrested as protesters scuffle with police. There was uh, some pretty heckers footage that I had seen of the UK bloody protests and whatnot. Let me just see if I can. No. Let's see what this will give us. So obviously there was also a lot of like anti-fash, basically protesters, and typically in these situations, the main job that cops try and achieve is to try and keep the two groups separate, because uh, inevitably, if they aren't, there's going to be fists thrown. People could even die. That kind of shit happens. People get punched or maybe not dead, but like they will get severely hurt. Tommy Robertson was also a well-known football hooligan prior to his political trials. That does not surprise me. Uh, and so obviously the police are trying to, would have been doing their thing, trying to keep them separate, but it seems like the far right protesters were insistent on getting through, and they pushed through the lines, which then put the police in the position of having to directly attack back. any footage, sound of him. No, police report violence and 25 arrests.
100,000 people have marched through London in an anti-immigration rally organised by the nationalist, anti-Islam activist Tommy Robinson. The protest started in the streets south of the River Thames before heading towards Westminster. Organisers dubbed the...
So, I think what we're seeing here, it's actually kind of hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure these people here are Ghana protesters. That's the vibe I'm getting because of the lack of English flags, and then you see this Indian flag. No, Irish. Sorry, that's Irish. Oh God.
Unite the Kingdom march as a celebration of free speech.
It is very important. They need to stop illegal migration.
I'm a big fan of the phrenology, but in the other way discourse, and I'm getting a lot of that here right now.
Migration into this country. It's tearing us apart.
Counter-protesters were also out in force with reports of sporadic violence and clashes throughout the city.
There's a fear that the far right are trying to take over. So there's a fear of the rise of that sort of thing, but also the way immigrants and asylum seekers are blamed for what's wrong.
Yeah, no, look, Indian flag, bro, come on, mate. Yeah, no, look, I'll be honest, that was not a good moment. That is one of the most English-looking women I've ever seen. The one before, I know, right? Yeah. I thought I was looking at my lineage right there. She was the most Anglo-looking fucking Anglo I've ever seen. Yeah, that was bad. It doesn't even look anything like the Indian flag. I don't know. I never really actually thought about it too, because like, with the UK flag, it's the Welsh, Scottish, and English flags sort of mixed together. And of course, the English have always just fucking hated the Irish. Like, of course, they hate the Scottish and the Welsh too, but they seem to always just hate the Irish that little bit more. So clearly, they didn't fucking incorporate that flag.
Here, it's totally wrong.
Well, that was lovely. I don't know why we have like 20 seconds of a buffer there. Wrong. What's up? Did I get something wrong? Oh dear. There's no representation of the Welsh flag at all on the... Isn't there? Oh. So it's just the Scottish flag and the English flag. Shit. That shows me. But I thought... Wait, which one's the English one? The English one's that way. Because we had been a part of the Kingdom of England for quite a while before they had absorbed... Ah! Yep, that checks out. That's true. That's kind of how Wales has always been, like, kind of, like, fucked over in a sense. Like, that's always been their relationship, is like they've just always been within it. Our flag is a dragon stood on a green field. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe that one would have been a bit too difficult to incorporate into the flag. It's just a Union Jack with a fucking dragon like flying across. Hey, that'd be fucking dope. I'd be probably more willing to fly that flag. No. Oh, hang on. We've seen that one. Where was the? I had another one. Oh yeah. And then we have Elon Musk's speech. Come on, let's move it along.
This could have happened without you giving the British public access to the truth and giving us free speech and fighting for our free speech. So
God!
Great Britain and the British public, we're incredibly grateful, Elon.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. And
You're most
you may
welcome.
notice this T-shirt that I'm wearing is great British author George Orwell. What would
Oh,
Orwell think? I
fuck
think
off.
that's generally a good way to look at these things. He would want freedom of speech. He would want.
Yes, he would, but he would also know the fucking correct definition of freedom of speech and recognize that what you are doing is literally Big Brother shit. They could have incorporated green or something at least, you know, but I refuse to fly a Union flag regardless of the representation of the Welsh on it, so it doesn't change my. Yeah. Yeah, of course, like, you know. Of all the things to take issue with the Union Jack on, the lack of Welsh representation and all that is really the least of the issues.
Want the people to know what's real. He'd want the people to fight against government oppression.
I feel like George Orwell would be the most turned over body in a grave. Like, no one's ever read his books. I'll admit it, I've read one book of his, Animal Farm. I enjoyed that one. That one was cool. I know a few quotes from 1984. That's about it.
And fight for the truth and fight for the future of Britain.
Elon, we are incredibly grateful for your time. We know what a busy man you are.
How is their footage worse than Elon's? 25 arrested. Some cops beat up some fascists beat up some cops. What's the difference, am I right? No, no, it is deeply concerning, especially because from the looks of it, this really was. I wouldn't say it was just purely because of the Charlie Kirk thing, but like obviously that's like motivated a bunch of them. I think we are now entering into a world where the fascism is truly international. For a very nationalist ideology, it is a very international ideology. Um, and these guys kind of all rely on one another in order to justify one another in a weird way. For example, um, uh, uh, the cookers on the Org 31st used the example of Trump's deportation plans. Deportation plans is the deporting, the full on jackbooted fucking masked men ice guys deporting people. That they use that as an example as to why we should do deportations. They look to the terrorists as an example as to why we should have an economy more like that. Um, so they do rely on each other's sort of existence in order um, and it helps again further consolidate that the worldview that, let's be real, very mentally ill worldview, because the more and more it feels like people agree with it, and especially in other countries, um, the more legitimate it feels and looks or whatever. I mean, you know, it's legitimate. It's a legitimately fascist movement, no doubt about that.